All right, you are listening to the Dreaming Insomniacs, the podcast, season 3, episode 7. Once again with Once again with special guest Killjoy Jake. How you doing, buddy?
I'm fantastic. How are you, man?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm killing it. I feel great. I feel alive today.
And that's the way you should feel, man. You've come a long way since we last spoke.
Oh yeah. It's been a minute. So
It
hell yeah,
has. It's
dude.
been about a year.
Oh
So
yeah.
you're at 11,000 subscribers now. And anyone who's watching, go subscribe to Killjoy Jake. He covers some great content on some horror movies, and he has another channel as well, a new one. I believe it's Movie Smoothie, right?
Yeah. I just started that up. Almost at 400 subscribers there. So yeah, it's nice. It's fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the Lethal Collective as well, which is a collaboration collective project he's a part of with other YouTubers. All right, so let's dive into it. What are your thoughts on Scream 6 so far?
Well, I have some mixed feelings for the most part, but I think mostly positive stuff. I'm a little concerned that it's looking a little too much like Scream 2, which I just feel like my biggest thing about that is with a sequel, you should really challenge the original and try to do something like different, try to do something that is actually like worth your time. I don't want to spend the $13 on a movie ticket just to see Scream 2 again. I got it on my shelf back here. I'd rather just watch that. So I'm really hoping that Scream 6 is very different and everything they're promising to us is the truth, even though a lot of set pictures are kind of coming out making it look like we're repeating some similar plot points and similar plot beats to like that original Scream 2 movie. And the title of it's probably even going to be Scream 2. So I don't know, man. I'm just really hoping it's different enough and it's something that we can look back on and be like, hey, this was such a fun and original sequel. It's so cool that they went there instead of here, you know? That's basically my overall thoughts on it, but I really want it to be something special and something different.
I'm kind of like with your opinion on the topic of I want to see more brutal, different kills.
Yeah.
I'm tired of the same old BS, you know? It's
Yeah,
like, the TV show did some kills better than this movie. And
yeah.
that season didn't even have Ghostface in it.
Right.
I'm talking about that barn kill in the first season. I think it's around episode 7.
Yeah, no, there's some
Yeah.
there's some super memorable kills in that. Like even the Bella Thorne kill's like not bad at the very beginning. It's like okay, this is cool. Scream 5 wasn't bad. I actually have talked about how I love the like Wes's kill with the knife through the neck and all that.
Yeah, we're in agreement there. I've talked about that too. That's a
Yeah.
practical effect, apparently.
I think there's a little bit of digital cleanup when the knife, the exit wound is a little you can see.
Right.
But yeah, it's definitely I think it was done practically. They just did a little bit of cleanup on it, but I think it still looks good and it was cool. It was slow. It was really slow. The tension building I think was great, but I want to see some
scene.
I want to see some environmental kills though. We're in New York City, man. Push someone out of a building or something.
Right.
You know why
Can I
not?
be honest with you about something that bothers me to this day a lot about 5?
Yeah.
Is they messed up the stab lore really badly.
Yeah.
No, they
Yeah.
did. Like if you're a fan of the movies, even the Scream lore. I mean, you know, Scream 4 takes place 10 years after Scream 3, which takes place in 2000, making it take place in 2010, not 2011, as Sam references. You know, if you look at Scream 4 in the opening scene, Sydney was a character in only the first 3 stab movies, not all of them. Judy was never a character in a stab movie because there was no stab movie between Scream 4 and 5.
Yeah.
Other than from stab 7 to 8.
Yeah.
So, and I blame James Vanderbilt. He wrote those terrible, Amazing Spider-Man movies. Garfield's the best part, but that writing is trash. Which I
Yeah.
think they should just. I don't blame Radio Silence. I love those guys. I think they're genuinely fans. I think they should just get a new co-writer. Get rid of him.
That's the one thing that changed between Ready or Not and the new Scream.
They didn't work with him before.
Yeah, they never worked with him before. They added.
Oh, okay. It's a studio thing. All right.
Well, here's the thing, man. Guy Busick writes the script for Ready or Not, and I think it's great. I love it. Like,
Okay.
I think that movie's pretty fantastic. Then
how
with
did
Scream,
Williamson let that slip then? That's such a huge mistake. That's
well,
what I want.
that's I think that's what I'm getting at here. Is James Vanderbilt is the addition to that whole team basically, because it's pretty much the same between Ready or Not and the new Scream, and then you throw in James Vanderbilt in the writing room.
I saw it. It's great.
What'd you think? You liked it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. I thought it was
I'm
sick.
glad they went with the ending that they gave us, not the original. Kind of like Get Out, like way better what we ended up getting.
You know, I don't know the original ending for Ready or Not. I'm going to be honest. I know like the Samara Weaving's line was different at the end.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay. I didn't know if there was anything else different
rich
or not.
people or something like that.
Yeah. She says relatives or something like that, or in-laws. I think it was like
Yeah,
in-laws is
that's
what
what
she
it
says.
became, but it was originally fucking rich people or something like that. And they thought that was too on the nose, which I get. I get it.
It's a
And
little on the
something like
nose.
Scream be on the nose, sure. Because that's the point of it. But like
Yeah.
that, okay. All right. I don't know. Another thing I was kind of looking at, right, is like Wes Craven's New Nightmare. It's kind of his way of like returning Freddy to form, taking him away from like that more goofy stuff, and being literally in the movie, sort of like hanging the hat of Freddy Krueger, saying it's time to give this up to do bigger and better things. And what did he do 2 years later? And he
Yeah.
directed 4 of them consistently. A big regret he had for that franchise with Nightmare was not directing the sequel. Look, his heavy involvement in 3 and making New Nightmare says it all.
Yeah.
I think his consistency with the first 4 Scream movies shows that out of I can't name any other horror franchise that has had the same core cast, same director, mostly the same writer, and has stayed that true throughout the first 4. I'm not going to get to 5 in that department. Like I said, I love some of the kills. Radio Silence did a great job honoring Wes. I'll give it that. But there's just some glaring script issues that I can't get over, even though I own it. And
Yeah.
opening weekend.
And we've just scratched the surface of script issues with Scream 5, I think. Like there's even more stuff
Trying
where
to
it's
be
just
nice.
like yeah, right. Yeah, let's
Trying to
be
be
nice.
nice.
Let's be nice. Let's be nice.
Yeah.
There's still a lot of things to love about that film though, too. You know, as
mean,
much as I dog on it, there is some
Jake,
really
the
positive
script
factors.
supervisor follows us on Instagram, so I'm really trying to be nice.
I gotcha. But
Yeah, I can't really be nice about that lore mess up. That one.
I think
Very
when it comes to
vocal.
talking about a film and worrying about stuff like that, though, you do have to be like, I would rather someone be honest. Like if someone hated Red Right Hand, I'd want them to be honest. I want them to be honest. I'd want to hear why they didn't like it so much, because I think you learn a lot more from people
That's
who
true.
dislike your thing than people who like it. You know, does that
I
make
mean, I
sense?
like that you couldn't have made a play on that in the original and put me and a bunch of other your friends in there too.
Yeah, and it was
You're gonna
fun.
keep
It was
that
cool.
up, right? It's almost at 10,000 views.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'll
please do.
probably Oh, of course. Yeah, I'll probably rename it to Proof of Concept, just so when people look up Red Right Hand in the future,
yeah.
you know, they know
Or
that's
like
the
just
proof.
like
and-
original version or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of how we're treating it, because I don't know if I've said this or not, but we kind of do use the same a similar scene as to what happens in Red Right Hand in the new one. Like it's not it's a little different, and we work it out in a different way. The chase is very different.
I could see how you wanted to make it better, though. I see why you're doing it.
We had a whole how this all came about too was just like we had that proof of concept, and I'm like, oh wait, but what if this happens next, and what if this happens, and oh, there's another ghost face. Like we just had all these ideas, and we're like, we have to make this movie. Like this is too cool. Me and my buddy Matt, who's also the co-director and co-writer, we like would just get on phone calls after the proof of concept in like November. We would talk about it for like hours, and then we're like, fuck it, dude. Let's just make a whole movie. let's just do it. Let's do a 90-minute Scream movie. And here we are. It's we just wrapped it. We're in the editing process now. It's I'm really excited to get into it. So
I'm happy to hear that, man. That's awesome. Yeah, I know about Matt because I also donated to the Kickstarter for this one as well.
and we appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, man. I shared as much as I could as well. So I do have to pay a lot of bills, so I'm not able to do as much as I want to for all of my friends, but when I can, I do. You know,
Anything helps, man. I mean, that we just appreciate that we got it funded, and that, you know, at the end of the day, that's what matters. And I just appreciate it a whole lot, man. You have no idea what's coming, and I'm just excited.
I can't wait. It's also going to be cool to see the band name in the credits. That's the thing I like to do. Is like for me, like I do a lot of the work with it, like the music stuff. And we are a multi-person act. I mean, I have help even from my girlfriend with some of the writing on the new album. But like, I do a lot of the work, and I just said do. But I don't take credit. I credit the band, and I give more credit to others. Like if somebody like my friend Brian wrote like Facebook posts about a certain political figure, and it inspired some lyrics in one of my songs, and I credited him as a writer. You see what I mean?
Yeah,
Like that's the kind of thing it is. Like I'm trying to like, not put my name on something. So it's cool because like in donating to your project, the name of the band is on there.
yeah.
And it's not like anybody's gonna sit there and sift through the credits, but if some people are crazy and like 20 years down the road they look at this, right? They watch this live stream now and they're like, oh, I'm gonna go find that. It's there. It's like
You're immortalized. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But you are too, though, and you're making something that's like of something that we both fucking love. I mean, Scream.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Exactly, man. Yeah.
Even the worst one of them has great moments, and that's the third one to most people. But I like 3 more than 5, to be honest.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Is it 5? 5's your least favorite?
3 has glaring issues with like plot, like actual plot, like the voice changer and shit. But I find that third act and Roman's reasoning and motive far better than any of the Ghostface, to be honest, because he's denied a whole life, right? I love that, and it's like a whole expose of the Weinsteins at the same time. But you look at the killers in Scream 5, and it's like, okay, that's just easy now. That's just stupid. They're stupid. They can't even like successfully kill people. Yeah, there's a lot of issues with it. Come on. I mean, at least you could see that when Amber's hit with the bullets, like you could see through the costume, she's wearing a bulletproof vest. You could see that. That's pretty cool. And I like seeing the voice changer in the mask. So there's like things I like while I simultaneously hate it, like the fact that Dewey looks at his phone right before he gets killed. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me that you killed him? But beforehand, you turned him into an alcoholic that is divorced with Gail, which is what we did not want.
Right. Well, you know, it's such an easy fix with that, though. Like that, I've watched that scene so many times, and I'm like, this would have been such an easy fix. You should have had him show him getting a phone call from just anybody at some point in the movie, and it's a certain ringtone.
Oh my god, it's so stupid.
Well, what I'm saying is like before that though, when you're at the trailer, at his trailer, Sam and Richie, they get there. You should have just had him getting a phone call from like Judy or something. It's like, oh my god, it's happening again, or something like that. Yeah. And then later on, when he texts Gail, you get a different sound. So it's like, oh, Gail has a certain sound on his phone. It's like when it's Gail, it's maybe a happier ringtone or something silly, you know.
Oh, but yeah, then 100%.
But then bring that back for when Amber is in the shelf, he's going to shoot her. It's the same ringtone, so he knows it's Gail. Because he doesn't have enough time to look at his phone in that scene, if you remember. So, but if it was a certain ringtone that means Gail, he would look to his phone right before he did that. It would make more just a little details like that.
100% right, Jake. You are. I couldn't disagree with you at all on that, because that just makes it better if you just set it up with that little bit of plot in there.
Right, right.
But the funny, very Dewey line is, Ghostface is back. Don't come here. Smile.
Yeah.
What the fuck? I mean, that was funny. That made me laugh.
He's laughing about I shouldn't have put the smiley face.
Yeah, I know.
Which is great.
This is what I thought. I was like, oh, he shouldn't have done that. And then he said it. I'm like, oh yeah, it's Scream. That's kind of the point of what we're doing here.
David Arquette is a treasure.
Again, you should kill them off. I mean, I would have been more cool with the fan theories of turning him into a killer than killing him off.
Just for more.
He survived so much that it would make sense. You know what I mean? I mean, if the plot in 5 with him being divorced and having nothing, I mean, it would have been great. But they didn't go with that. They wanted to respect Wes, which I get, right? But also killing him off isn't respecting Wes. There's no winning. So you could have just not had him in the movie, but then you risked the opportunity of just having Courtney Cox back and Campbell back in the last 15 minutes. So I mean, yeah, I get it, but I don't at the same time. It's really hard to make a judgment call of what was the right thing to do.
Yeah,
it really wasn't the right thing to do. Maybe just leave it alone, but then we wouldn't have, your channel wouldn't have grown to the level it has, definitely without the help of the movie. We wouldn't still be talking about this movie. It came out in January and it's August. Almost next month it'll be 9 months later. So think about that.
I think about that sometimes, honestly. I think about what if Scream what if there's no new Scream or no Halloween Ends? There's also a huge rebirth in there's been a huge rebirth in horror lately, with all these.
Are you waiting or what? Because I've been waiting for this for about 10 years.
Which one? Halloween Ends?
No, just all of it. The rebirth and slashers. It didn't really make a comeback until the last 4 years or so, and they're kind of shitty at first, right? Other than
horror's been
Halloween, I love it.
Yeah. Horror's been kind of all over the place, especially in the 2010s. There was a lot of good, there was a lot of bad. I think that with the slasher genre, though, this is definitely a massive return to form, which is really nice.
We're not going to bring up that Abomination remake of Nightmare on Elm Street, though.
well, yeah. But
that never happened.
some bad, you know. Yeah, there's that.
No, that's a trashy. That ain't just bad. That should be every copy of that should be actually burned like Freddy in the movie. Seriously.
You know how they did, like, they buried all the ET games? Like, that's what we should do with the Nightmare on Elm Street remake. Just find a pit somewhere and just bury all of them.
And then we should make sure that we replace everyone's home that has an Xbox One in it with a brand new Xbox, and do the same thing with the Xbox Ones. Because I still have an Xbox One, and I wish I had a new one. I'll get one eventually, but bills are more important right now.
Yeah, right. I want a PS5 too, man. I would kill for one of those, but yeah, money.
I would be getting a PlayStation if I didn't have, like 117 games on my account or something like that. That's just from having it since like 2008.
Oh,
so it's
nice.
a lot of like 360 purchase. And the backwards compatibility thing's great. I was just playing GTA 4 this morning.
Oh, yeah?
Love. After playing 5 for almost 10 years, you get really sick of that fucking game. So it's like, oh my goodness, something different.
Yeah, I've only played 4 like once, man. GTA 5 was always my go-to. So that's
fun.
Nice.
That's a fun game. 5 is fun. You just get sick of it after playing it for 10 years straight. Hello.
Yeah.
Valerie is here.
Hello.
How you doing?
Welcome.
So, do you have a favorite video game at all?
You know, I just played through the Tomb Raider games, like one of the I think the 2013 one. That was pretty fun.
Great game.
Yeah. I played that for the first time.
One a lot. Rise of the Tomb Raider. Shadow I couldn't really get into because like definitely a quality dip in the graphics compared to the second one.
Oh, okay.
But, have you played Mafia 3?
I've not played the third one. I played the second one though.
You gotta play 3. I had the guy who played the main character on the podcast about a month ago.
Oh, nice. Cool.
He did a movie with Vin Diesel, and I'm not going to share it again because I have on pretty much every podcast since, and it's just kind of annoying at this point. But he shared a story that he'd never share with anybody else, so I'll send you the link after if you want to check it out.
Yeah, I'll check it out. That's sick. I dig that.
Yeah. Learned something new about somebody that was never shared with anyone until that. All right, so Halloween ends. What are your thoughts? You excited? You scared?
I'm probably more excited for this one than Scream 6, oddly enough, just because I have higher hopes for it. I think a lot of people are kind of like iffy about this whole Corey thing, but they needed to throw something in there to get Michael and Laurie together again. Because what else are you gonna do?
Paul Rudd's character in Halloween 6, what they kind of did with him.
Yeah.
Even though that was supposed to be Tommy Doyle, looks nothing like him. But yeah, it kind of has that, like, if he is that crazy obsessed with Michael Myers type character, it's totally like Tommy Doyle's Paul Rudd, and Paul Rudd's Tommy Doyle in Halloween 6.
Yeah. I see that. I already just from the trailer alone, I can already see them kind of already falling back on some plot beats of other like John Carpenter movies and the later Halloween sequels. Like I'm getting a lot of H2O vibes from that little trailer. Is that just me? I don't know.
I like H2O. It could be better, but I like Slater's better than the one after that.
Yeah.
You're better off just stopping at that point. Like, that's it.
Resurrection just makes no sense. I don't
when I
get
had
it.
Craven Something Scary on. I love that line, trick or treat, motherfucker. Trick or treat, motherfucker.
That one's it's certainly it is certainly a movie that exists. It's certainly a movie that came out at one point, you know? That's all I can say about it, really.
Just like this, I say 13 Reasons Why does Season 4 exist?
I have never watched that show. I'm gonna be completely honest. Yeah. I know nothing.
Spare
about
yourself
that,
some pain. And remember that it's so unrealistic because none of those fucking people, even though they all do drugs and drink, none of them smoke cigarettes. Come on.
That's that's a really funny thing to notice. Yeah, no, I mean you're right. I mean that makes sense.
It's funny. It's actually funny. Not the show. The fact not that none of them smoke cigarettes. It's
just like an odd
Silent Bob or something. They're always smoking cigarettes or weed or something.
Right. Yeah.
Contrast. I mean, different tone, obviously, but I'm just saying. Yeah, I'm excited for Halloween Ends. I think they could. I mean, I like Kills, but I was disappointed because there was lack of plot. Lack of plot.
I just had a good time with it. I think I kind of like. I didn't go into that movie expecting a masterpiece. I mean, it's called Halloween Kills.
Yeah, I think that's why I enjoyed it more, because I watched non-spoiler reviews and I prepared myself. I knew it wasn't going to be like Citizen Kane of Halloween movies or anything.
Yeah, I just thought it was
Halloween
fun.
3 too, for some reason. That's my guilty pleasure one out of all of them.
Halloween 2?
Halloween 3.
Oh, Halloween 3. Yeah, I love Halloween 3. It's great. It's underrated.
On this. Do you think John Carpenter's shadow directed that movie?
Yeah, like it feels like it. You know,
he directed that shit. There's no way he did not. Tommy Lee Wallace was the fall guy. That's a John Carpenter film.
I think he just didn't want to put his name on it. Like
nobody did. Not even the science fiction writer who co-wrote it wanted his name on it. He actually like threatened to sue to have it removed.
Yeah,
Netflix actually has a great video on that.
I've never seen that. I'll have to check that out. I don't know. I love it though.
Blair Witch 2. That would have been a really good movie if the studio didn't interfere. Yeah, the director was kind of going for like a psychological thriller, right? Because the second one's set in the real world where the movie takes place.
Yeah.
As a movie. So these kids go and visit the site and shit starts happening, but you don't find out until the end of the movie. But the studio forced these unnecessary gore scenes where you see what they do, so it essentially spoils the whole thing. They brought scenes that were like later on in the movie into like earlier on in the movie and fucked up the entire vibe of it.
I only watched it once. I barely remember it, but that was the one thing that stood out to me was like, oh wait, we're actually seeing stuff this time around. I'm like,
right.
Oh, this is weird. Yeah,
you weren't supposed to, and you're supposed to figure that out when they see the videotape later, which would have been really cool.
Because that's the thing about Blair Witch, that first one, you don't see anything the whole time.
Can I be honest with you? That movie sucks.
It does. Honestly, it does. But the only reason I think it's like still talked about and it's still even a thing, it's just the ad campaign for that.
Yeah, the ad campaign. Yeah,
like how they pulled that off is amazing. They utilized they took advantage of like an early stage of the internet when people still thought everything on there was like the truth, and they just lied to like thousands and thousands of people. It's really a genius marketing strategy.
They just do that with mobile games now. Like Ebony the King's Return. How many ads have you seen for that?
Yeah, and it's like not the actual game, right?
No, that's totally Falcon though from Game Ranks. That's his voice. There's no way that's not. Like you could probably run a vocal match and get 100%. Yeah, dude. Like that's not good. That's like a sellout. Fucking ugh. Would you do something like that for money, Jake?
I would, like, if someone was like, oh, here's a Raid Shadow Legends ad, I'd probably talk about that, yeah. But I wouldn't do that. But
you're aware that it's shit. At least
I'm aware. I'm aware that most mobile games are not great, but I mean, dude, if Raid Shadow Legends comes knocking on my door,
at least if they made the game and the ad look similar to what it is.
Okay. At least they do that with like Raid Shadow Legends though. There's like that zombie game I see. Like there's like I don't know what it's called, but it's like there's a zombie game where it's like it looks like a certain way, but
poke through glass or whatever it is thing that looks nothing like it does on the advertisement.
Yeah, and it's like that's just not what the game is. They make it look way cooler than it actually is, and then you find out it's just like you just got to throw more money into it to advance or whatever. It's one of those kind of games.
It still sucks though, even if you put money. Yeah, it's funny. It's funny how that works.
Yeah,
but at least people like us though talk about what we love to reach the audience that we care about. The people that feel the same way we do. So something like that is like a completely different avenue compared to what we do. I'd argue that what we do is better. Even though I'm not trying to be egotistical about it. But on another note, are there any plugs that you want to give out to anybody, like shout outs or anything?
I mean, check out the Lethal Collective. Like me, Craven Something Scary, Fate Decided, Night Watch Zone. We all stream over there every Mondays and Fridays. It's banging. So I would say go. Guys. Yeah, follow all those guys too. I stream with them like all the time, so they're great. They're all good, all awesome channels. Put out some good videos and streams and stuff.
Super nice guys too. I talk to them on the reg as well.
Oh yeah, they're the best, man. I love talking to them. My second, my channel, my movie smoothie channel. Check those out too. Why not?
Subscribe.
But, subscribe.
If you have not, go subscribe to Jake. I'll link everything in the description too after this is done.
Perfect.
I'm actually just gonna upload it uncensored. No edits, like I said, because it's a live stream anyway. So,
Yeah.
can you edit it after it goes up? I don't know.
Yeah, you can't like you can use like the YouTube editor to like edit pieces and parts out if you need.
Like the comment I left on your stream the other day where I said I was high, and I told you not to repeat.
Yeah.
Thank you for cutting that out. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. Yes, I definitely.
Even though
that.
I totally just gave myself away, but I don't care. It's my own podcast, whatever.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Any other movies you want to talk about that aren't just like horror?
I'm excited for that Bullet Train that just came out. I haven't had time to see it yet, but it looks pretty good with like Brad Pitt and all that. It looks silly, so I'm like, I'll check it out.
I saw an ad for that. Looks good. I like that it's rated R. I always
Yeah.
like good like hard R movies. It's sick of PG-13 after watching a few of them. You know.
Yeah.
One I checked out recently. It took me a while to catch up. Girl Next Door.
What was it called?
Girl Next Door.
Girl Next Door.
Yeah.
I don't think I have heard of that.
The daughter from 24 plays a porn star who moves next to Emile Hirsch, and she's her pimp boyfriend kind of thing is played by Timothy Olyphant. He's the bad guy. So it's like, if you can get over Scream 2 for a minute while you're watching it.
Yeah.
It came out in 2004, so he's starting to gray a little bit. But he plays a really skeevy dude. And everyone's really good in it. The movie's got more heart. It's kind of like Zack and Mary make a porno. It has more heart than you'd expect.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Man. That's good.
Valeria just said she saw it yesterday. It is funny. It's very, very, very funny. But yeah, no, I mean, I like that one, and I mean, that's just one I saw recently. But I mean, I really like, 80s movies a lot. I love the good old Back to the Future.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna see Prey today with Chelsea. That's what we're gonna do when she gets home.
I really liked that. I thought
that,
that was pretty fun. Yeah.
I'm hearing mixed things, but I'm excited. From everyone that I usually agree with, I'm hearing good things. Like you.
I'm hearing a lot of people who are complaining about like the main character, but I don't know. I loved her. I think Amber Midthunder's performance is fantastic. She's pretty badass. I don't know. I thought it was great. I had no problems with it really. I gave it like a 9 out of 10.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. I gave it like a 9 out of 10. I was probably a little generous. I'll be honest. Like it's probably more of like an 8 out of 10. But I was really impressed with it. It's a Hulu original movie. I was kind of expecting like, and it was way better than that. So
wait, hold on. Disney owns Predator and Alien now.
Yes, I believe so.
They could do any crossover anytime with that, and they haven't. That's good. That's one.
Well, they are. So Prey just came out. They led into a sequel with the ending of it, which I won't spoil.
Okay.
And
is it after credits? Can you tell me that?
Yeah. I would watch the after. I would watch all the credits because there's like
there's a after.
There's a thing.
Mm.
But there's a new Alien movie coming out and a new Alien series coming out to FX. So like they're definitely planning on doing it again. I think like AVP or something.
With a hard R because like Prey's rated R, right?
I believe so. Yes.
Okay, and that's the cool thing that I guess that's the difference between Disney Plus, I guess, and Hulu, because Disney owns both of them. Hulu is more of their like they can push their adult movie type thing, and they don't have to be afraid. They don't have to push it to like Fox Searchlight or anything like that, like they used to. Before they owned, I don't know. I think they've owned Fox for a long time, to be honest with you. It was just only public recently, but that's more of a conspiracy theory than there's no basis. But I don't know. Like I said, in the mid 2000s, they would push the movies that they were like, nope, that's too hardcore for us. Hey, Fox Searchlight, put that out. I don't know. But I think that's cool that Hulu's doing new movies that are actually good. And it's like,
they've been consistent this year, dude. Did you see Fresh?
I did. I wasn't a big fan, but I was also drunk. So you have to give that one another go.
It was pretty good. It's not like it wasn't like best horror movie of the year, but it was good.
His name Sebastian Stan.
Sebastian Stan, yeah.
I like him. He's a good actor. It's great as the Winter Soldier.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I have one question about Prey, and I think I know the answer. But does it have anything to do with Shane Black's The Predator?
No, not at all. That was a fucking.
What happened?
Yeah, I said the same thing to myself.
He's not even that bad. Kiss Bang Bang's amazing. He was in the original. It was a recipe for success. What the fuck happened? I haven't watched it. I've only seen clips, and it's so bad that I won't watch it.
You don't need you don't need
I
to.
didn't think I did. I mean, I've seen videos, retrospective videos, destroying the whole thing scene for scene, so I've pretty much seen it. It tries to be funny. What? I mean, I'd rather watch, Eric Foreman Venom in the one of the Adrian Brody.
Yeah.
Another thing I liked about Ready or Not, speaking of Brodies, the brothers, is the fact that Adam Brody is in Scream 4 and in Ready or Not.
Yeah.
They bring him back though in Scream because I don't know. I'm pretty sure he got stabbed in the back.
Yeah.
He did though, yeah. And a lot of people shit on that other one with Anthony Anderson. Is people say it's unrealistic when he gets stabbed in the head, but West did base that off of a real case. The brain does.
Oh,
function.
really?
Yes. Yeah, 100%. That was based on a real case.
Oh,
That's what
dope.
makes it
Okay.
cool. Yeah. I didn't think it was. I thought adding the fuck Bruce Willis thing was it's a little much, but still, it's a movie.
I still like Scream 4 is probably my favorite sequel though. I don't know.
Probably. I know, right?
I love Scream
People
4. I
shit
think
on
it's
I don't get it.
yeah, it gets a lot of hate, but man, it's probably the only Scream sequel that's like really consistent with its commentary and then also has some great kills too. So
We
and great
need to make a
characters.
cut of it though, because people keep making it and then they remove it. We need to add the alternate opening instead. Remove that shitty garage reshoot with the Walgreens mask. It's scarier in the other one. Add
Yeah.
music to it, right? Add all the deleted scenes, including the reference to Tatum that was taken out because the whole, we're not going to go there, but you know what I'm getting at. Keep that in there. Keep all the deleted stuff with Trevor, which fills out his character more, and then you have actually cut out the hospital scene. Even just cut that. You have a way better fucking movie.
So they talk about why they cut all the Trevor scenes out because they didn't want it to make it too obvious that he was a red herring. But like, he's not even a character at that point in the movie.
No, it just adds the fact that he is a character. Other than that, he's just like almost a mannequin. And his acting isn't very good.
He has that one scene with Jill, like right at the very beginning, which is like that's not bad. But like then
he was in like one thing after that.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why I always think of because his last name is Tortella, I think of tortillas. I don't know why. I just think of corn chips every time I see his face.
I could go for a burrito right now. So
Oh my
bad.
God,
like
I want to go to Taco Bell. I live so close. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll go to Taco Hell after this.
Taco Hell.
So how long you want to go for? How long do you have today?
I can go till 12 if you want. Like just
Yeah, I'm down.
keep it running. Yeah.
Yeah. Get a good 30 plus 40, 70 minutes. Yeah, right on.
Perfect.
That was right math, right? 33 plus 4 is 7.
Yeah. 20 minutes from
I'm
now,
not
I
stoned.
guess. Yeah.
Totally stoned. All right.
That's
so
okay.
We got to most of our things. What are some of your inspirations for filmmaking, whether it's directors, writers, movies, etc.?
I have always been drawn to the first movie from any director that I respect. Like I love seeing what someone was thinking about, like when they were in their heyday or their salad days or whatever, when they don't have a bunch of money already, when they don't have anything else under their belt.
Down their neck.
What?
Studios breathing down their neck.
Yeah, exactly. I've always been more attracted to those kind of movies and filmmakers who are on the rise than ones that are already established, oddly enough. I just, you might not find like the absolute most amazing movies of all time there, but you'd find this like back against the wall force of creativity that you just can't find in some other horror movies. Like I don't know. I've always been more interested in that, and that's why I think like the VHS franchise is so appealing to me. It's every single. Yeah, they did they did a segment for the first one, and it's like you can feel that in all 4 of the installments so far. Like there's this like want to put out something really great in the creative process. You can feel that in the skits. You can feel that in like some of the first up and coming horror movies from these legendary directors. Like if you watch like Get Out, you can feel that. If you watch like Halloween, that might not be John Carpenter's first film, but it was like he was really trying to make this something a breakout hit, and
I feel like you could make Halloween. That's why I like it.
I think like that Evil Dead,
Oh my God, I talked about that with Craven Something Scary, man. I love it. You could tell they had fun. They were
Yeah,
freezing to death, $650 budget in a cabin with no windows, and they made that shit happen with those special effects. Come on.
and that's amazing. That's just so
Is
amazing to
that
me.
not amazing? So
Yeah.
inspiring. I don't think there's a more inspiring story in film. I really don't.
Yeah, no, it's incredible, and it's that's what I've always been. I guess that's what I've always been drawn to. But like some major influences, yeah, is definitely Sam Raimi. I fucking love Fede Alvarez, who did like the Evil Dead remake. I'm trying to like John Carpenter's a huge influence on me too.
I
Uh,
think Alvarez, he's done a good job. Didn't
oh
he
yeah,
also do the Don't Breathe movies?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of first movies, like which should have stayed the first movie is The Matrix. Should have just the whole hero's journey is right there.
Yeah,
Just got that one. And you could argue that the second one and the third one are like Kill Bill 1 and 2, where it's just like one big movie cut into like two because it was like, all right, we have this really, really long movie. It's very eccentric. It doesn't feel right. It's unmatched. The pacing sucks. So we're going to cut it in half and release them one part earlier in the year. And then we're going to do the other one like later on in the year and make it look like it's two movies. And then you have a trilogy. And that's not what Kill Bill did because it was just one big movie cut into two. Which I mean, I argue that the first part is the only part because the second one is just I don't like it. I don't like it at all, even though it's the whole point. But The Matrix just should have stayed one movie, and then that fourth one was that
yeah.
never happened either, in my mind. At least.
It's almost like they're self-aware that the other two movies are horrible, so they're like, "Hey, yeah, that still happened, but like we're gonna just redo the whole
Dude,
ending, and it's still
they were
bad."
better than the fucking fourth one. They were better. How are those movies better than that last one?
Yeah, I don't know.
What
I don't know
was gonna
that.
do with or without us? They literally say in the fucking movie. They should have just done it without them.
I like the biggest thing about that movie for me is why they never contacted Lawrence Fishburne. They never contacted Hugo Weaving. What the fuck? Like what happened?
my
Why
God.
would you not want to try to even get those people
But then you
in your movie?
overlap scenes with the original.
Right,
It's so
right.
much better.
It
makes me
doesn't
wanna
make
go
any
and watch-
sense to me.
Oh, me and my dad and my stepmom and my girlfriend Chelsea were gonna watch it for Christmas. My dad was all excited, and I hear the reviews coming out. I'm just dreading it because I don't want to let him down. Right? We sit down and watch it. This motherfucker, my dad's 72. He's falling asleep. He's bored.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I didn't want to let you down. The reviews are really bad, and they're right. This movie's trash, and it just becomes a Save Trinity movie. It was supposed to be about saving the no, just save Trinity. Bye, Valeria. Have a great day.
Peace.
But yeah,
But yeah.
no, I mean, should just stay one. Let's just keep it at one. First movies are always the best. That's actually Evil Dead also. I like the first one more than the second one. Unpopular opinion, I like the horror more than the comedy in that instance. Scream does it great. The New Nightmare does meta before Scream does it great. But for me, I think the best Evil Dead movie is the original and then the remake that Fede Alvarez did with Jane Levy.
See, I'm of the opinion that all of them are good. Like I fucking love every Evil
They're
Dead movie.
good, but I'm saying
Yeah.
my favorite is the first one.
Oh yeah.
Personally, it's my favorite.
Yeah, probably the first one for me, but like I also really love the remake. It's
so
just
good
a,
too.
It's so tough. It's really so tough to say
How did they make
which
it so
one.
good without Ash? There was no Ash in the remake, but they still made it great. I don't know.
I've always felt like with characters, you can if you write more good characters, it's possible to write more good characters. It really is. I feel like that's not something that's like so critical to continuing a franchise is sticking with the characters. But like some people are like with the Sidney Prescott thing with Scream. Like people are like, oh no, Sidney, sorry, I'm not there, and it's like. I would understand if you're pissed off about the situation with the studio.
I'm more mad
sucks.
about that. I think they only offered her like $1,000 by the way she's speaking, which if it's
right.
insulting, it has to be like $1,000 for like 20 days.
Yeah, it's probably yeah. I mean that's hyperbole, but yeah, I'm sure they gave her something that's insane. But
it's probably around like 5 or 10. But still, it's probably really low ball. If she's saying no and it's a money issue, and you know Nev Campbell's a complete professional, it's a low offer.
Yeah, and I totally respect her decision and all that, but like, am I done with Scream 6 now because she's not going to be in it? Like, no, of course
No,
I'm still going to go see
I'll
it.
still
Like,
give it a chance, but I'm also not gonna like hold it in high regard now that I've seen 5 with the glaring script issues that we know is because of James Vanderbilt. But that's besides the point. Um, I'm still excited too. I think bringing back Kirby, especially after what Hayden Panettiere went through, is a really good idea. And if Sydney's in it, awesome. If she's not, oh well. But that doesn't leave the door closed for 7.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I mean, Craven could be right too. We could be on Stew Train. You never know. Matt seems to really want to come back, and you never know what they could do. I mean, I really think that most people agree that Matthew Lillard's best role is Stu, and it is. My favorite line in that entire movie is, "Oh, you hit me with the phone, Dick," and that's obviously improvised, and I love that because he's actually calling Skeeter Dick. That reminds me, when they were doing the conventions a few months ago, when Chris Rock got slapped by Will Smith at the Oscars. Skeet and Jamie Kennedy were reenacting it at a restaurant for Instagram.
I saw the video. That was pretty funny, man.
Yeah, it was funny, and it was it was a quote from the movie. That's what made it. I think was great about it. It was a quote from the movie.
Oh yeah.
I just actually rewatched the first 2 movies recently, and Randy totally broke his rule. He broke all of his rules just by stepping in front of that fucking band, man. I'm telling you. And talking shit about Billy Loomis to his mom, not knowing it. I mean, that's not his fault, but
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
I've always felt like they should have kept Randy alive, at least for the first 3 movies, and then killed him. He's so crucial, He's so crucial
Yeah, I
to
agree with
all
you.
those characters.
And I mean, remember how I said the last time I wanted to ensure they bring him back some way in the 5th one? They totally did. Look at that. Didn't have to
You
bring
got
him
a
back to
picture
be
of him.
alive. You got a picture of him. You got a reference to him. You got a voice line in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Someone's goofy ass dad is kicking us out. I was the first person to find it. And his assistant, well, not assistant, the guy who runs his YouTube channel, Kyle Anderson, was like, "Yep, that's it." And he told me when they recorded it and all that, and that was cool. So,
Oh, that's
um,
dope. Okay. Because
yeah.
did they all do the 4 West thing at the party too? Like Drew Barrymore recorded that line and all that.
She's in there. I know Matt's in there when he says something about "Hey Freeman, cool party." That's him.
Oh,
And
dope.
Stu's
Okay.
also the metallic ghost face in the
Yeah.
stabbing footage, which is fucking hilarious because he's like dancing around with this. It's so stupid, and that's the point, obviously. And I love the dead meat cameo. That's great too.
Oh yeah, that had me jumping up and down in the theaters. I was like, "Let's go!" That was such a win for horror YouTubers to see Deadbeat in a movie. Oh,
Yeah,
it was
but it
awesome.
also made me kind of jealous because it's like, all right, but us little guys, they ain't seen us. Actually, no, the Scream movies replied to one of your tweets. I saw that. That was cool.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was cool.
The Radio Silence guys like followed me and stuff after the movie came out.
Oh,
It was
really?
nuts. Yeah, yeah. They followed me on Twitter, which is like it's great. It's
Did
weird.
they
It's like
still follow you?
yeah.
Oh,
Tyler and
cool.
Matt follow me. I'm literally and I don't deserve that. I just talk about horror movies.
Well, they saw your
Like,
interview. They saw our first collab. I sent that to them, and they had seen the Instagram stories. I remember showing you that. You were freaking out over that. So
Yeah.
they definitely found out who you were from that. And
Yeah.
I mean, they definitely watch your content. You speak highly of those guys, and I agree with you. Those guys are awesome. I kind of like. I'm glad I hadn't seen Ready or Not because like the best things I've done in meeting people in the industry is not kissing their ass, like the Dropkick Murphys. I met them because they were playing a show because a soldier died. I thought the guy that was talking to me was security, and I told him I was more of a fan of Green Day. They took pictures with me and signed my guitar. That was one of the singers. It was Kim Casey. So it's shit like that. Like, that's fine. But I'm glad that I have seen Ready or Not, and I have seen Scream 5 because regardless of what we could say about, like I said, glaring script issues from Vanderbilt, the directing is fantastic, and you can tell that there's a love letter to Wes. But you're right. I've been listening to you. I keep up with the streams as much as I can, even though I work pretty much every day. We need something original in Scream 6. That's what we need. Something new. Get Radio Silence. Give us your vibe. Come on. Bring us your own thing. It's no more imitation. Doesn't have to be Scream 2.2.
And you know what's crazy about it is that video that just came out with Melissa Barrera. I mean, dude, it's like I hate to sound once again. I hate to sound so full of myself, but it just sounds like she's taking things from like my videos, Craven Something Scary's videos, Fate Decided, like all of us, like
They're
all of the
watching
people
you
in the
and they're
space.
not letting you know.
Well, dude, like, I mean, some of the things she says, like, I've said those things in videos before. Like, I'm literally watching it, and I'm just like, I said that this is something I wanted in Scream 6. Oh, there's another thing. Oh, wait a minute, there's another thing. If you watch that whole video, yeah.
I know, it sounds a lot. It's like verbatim. It's like they went and listened to your videos. Yeah. They know you guys are covering all of this right now, more so than any other YouTubers, and they're listening, which can be looked at as a good thing. Could be looked at as a bad thing, because what are they doing? They're taking your ideas and they're profiting off of them. If they do put those things in the film. If not, then they're lying about the things that you want to get you to go see the film, to then speak highly of it. I mean, look, those glaring, amazing, glowing reviews about Scream 5 when they came out, you know, all paid. There's no way the movie was that good. And it wasn't. It's good. It's enjoyable, but it's not that good. It's not as good as everyone was saying it is.
It's nowhere near my favorite horror film of the year. Like,
No.
I even when it came out, I knew that, but I was still like, it was still really exciting to have this franchise back.
Dude,
I think that was the big thing.
The script issues still bothered me in that opening scene. I'm like, whoa, hold on a second. Oh my God, I've seen this franchise so many times. You're telling me that Sidney Prescott was in every Stab movie? What are you talking about?
Well, you know, another thing I'll say too is like with Red Right Hand, especially, like we wrote in a lot of stuff where the characters purposefully get things wrong, like on purpose.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. Maybe they're just bad fans. Maybe Wes is a bad fan.
Well, yeah, that could be a possibility, and like maybe Richie has some things wrong, but I played into that a little more.
Fan justification to try to enjoy it a little more.
Exactly. Yeah, and we kind of utilized that whole idea with some of the killers in Red Right Hand. Like they purposefully get things wrong. They don't know everything about the Stab franchise. The main killer doesn't realize they're based off of real true events, which is it's a really funny plot detail because he doesn't know that, because he doesn't know everything about the franchise. He thinks he's a super fan, but he's not, and that's what's kind of funny. It leads into what happens, and it's really interesting stuff. I think it's a fun motive to play around with, but it's also not the same as Scream 5, because a lot of people are going to see it at first and be like, oh, this is just the Scream 5 motive again, but it's not, and you'll see why it's different. I think that's what's so fun about
even
it.
The original version of Red Right Hand, you're so in tune that Scream 5 ended up doing the same thing with having like
they did the Stab 8 thing. Yeah,
you did it before Scream 5 came out.
Yeah,
you did it before it came out. And how long did that original version take to make? So you could argue that that's the proof of concept and the basis in which it came from that still came out before Scream 5. So technically, you're not ripping it off. So to anyone who says that, fuck you. Not you, Jake, them.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's that crazy that we just put another number against the Stab franchise. It's nothing that nuts, but I do think it was cool when to hear like a month later after our thing came out, it's like, oh, they're gonna revisit the Stab franchise, and it's like, oh, we just did that. I wonder how. Yeah, I thought they weren't. I thought
podcast when you came on the last time, you're like, oh, since they're not doing that, we're gonna. But it turns out, no, they lied to us. They said it wasn't gonna be meta, and it was the most meta fucking movie that we've had. Seriously, that one scene with Jasmine Savoy Brown, who, by the way, when she was in Yellow Jackets and that was coming out, she hearted one of my shared things on Instagram. So she's really nice.
Nice. Yeah.
But yeah, no, that whole scene with her watching Randy on the TV saying behind you, come on, that's like triple layer meta.
Yeah, at least for me with the meta humor, there's really not that much commentary in Scream 5, and when there is, it's not about horror movies, which I don't love. But I think my thing about the fifth film is like that works for me. That's fine, that's funny, whatever. But like then they just name drop other movies nowadays. They don't ever use that to their advantage. They don't ever use that for the commentary. What's odd about the film is it's much more of a commentary on. It's much more of a commentary on like Star Wars, dude. Like if you look at the plot line of it, it's so similar to Episode 7, and it's like what is the commentary there?
I'm fine with it being a jab at Disney if the first 4 Scream movies weren't owned by fucking Disney. Miramax was owned by Disney. They were put out by Disney, so you're making a jab at yourself, therefore indirectly making yourself a hypocrite because you're owned by Paramount now. So it's you see what I mean? It's like it doesn't really work.
I just don't think that was that was not the movie to comment on the new Star Wars movies. You know what I mean? It
No.
just wasn't that wasn't
Am I
your
glad it
place to do that.
happened? Yes. Did it do the meta thing better than Matrix 4 did? Why was that meta? It didn't need to be. That was the whole point of the Matrix, is it never needed to take that extra step that Scream did.
Neo's a
It
game
came out 3
developer
years
now.
after.
That's
Right.
that's
Right.
so
And then it
dumb.
just tried to copy Scream. Of course Scream's gonna do it better. That's its DNA. But like don't tell us in the so I'm not really trusting what Melissa Barrera is saying, because she's just taking what you guys are saying and all that and then just repeating it. So you'll go and see the movie. What happened when they were making Scream 5? They lied to us. They told us that the movie was not going to be meta. It was going to be a straightforward slasher. No, it was not bad at all. Not one bit. It couldn't have been more of the opposite. And that's the shit I'm talking about. So you just can't trust everything you read and hear. You got to wait until you see the movie and make your opinion then. Don't let any outside influence change it. Just know that when you see it and how you feel about it is how it should be.
I will say my final thoughts on all that though is with when you're making a movie in an already established franchise, I can kind well, yeah, but I can kind of the one thing I can speak from experience with is making this fan film. I wanted to implement my own stuff so bad, and we did, and that's also because we don't have a studio where we don't really have to worry about like rights issues. It's a fan film, you know what I mean? Like no one cares. But I think Radio Silence really does want to implement their own thing into the movie. Like I genuinely believe that. The question is, what is the studio going to allow them to do?
We're at Paramount, yeah.
We're
what about Paramount here?
That's the question, I think, at the moment. Like, how much are they going to actually put into this of their own like creativity?
How much are they going to be
to...
allowed to? How much is going to be put on the cutting room floor? Are we dealing with another Weinstein Scream 4 situation where the movie's going to be cut to shit post and made to be reshot?
I mean, I don't know. I guess that's kind of the question as of right now. I hope not. I hope it's good. I hope it's something where it's like
after the next one, just completely restart. Do something different. Keep Ghostface going. Do it with different characters. Do your own fucking thing.
That's what I was hoping for. Scream
Radio
5.
Silence. Bring in some new creatives. Bring in you. Bring in someone else. You know, that's how some of the best films came along. Look at the original Star Wars trilogy. Not to do the comparison, but I'm gonna. George Lucas made the original. Irvin Kershner made the second one. Someone else made the third. You could argue that having the 3 different creative visions planned out the way it was, without being like what the Disney trilogy was, which was actually like planned out in like a mechanical, almost like conveyor belt process. It was more artistic, and you see 3 different layers of 3 different artists with Lucas's writing in there. It is a perfect? No, but is it really cool? Yeah. That'd be a really cool thing to do with the different franchise starting with Scream. You could do it. Same character, same everything. You can even bring Roger back, just have different characters. You know, same mask, same robe, same everything.
And I think that would work. Yeah, I think that would be fine. The biggest Scream's biggest weakness is trying to connect everything to the original, which I agree with you. I think conceptually it would be just better if they just told their own story. Once again,
you could argue that Halloween 2018 did that better than because it just like said, you know what, we know the other sequels are bad, even 2. John Carpenter didn't want to make that, so we're just going to make Halloween 2. We're going to remake Halloween 2 for the second time. So
I think that was a great idea, though, from Blumhouse. You know, that's my thing with
the timeline a little more. That's all.
Yeah,
trying to explain it to people.
It probably would have served this new Scream film a little better if they had just done their own thing and like just made it a direct continuation to one.
I feel like because they're going to make a trilogy. Let Radio Silence make their trilogy.
Yeah,
okay? Like get them their third. Don't cut them off after 6. Give them the opportunity to close it out with 3, and then move on. Do something new. Bring a new talent.
Yeah.
That's the way to
I agree.
Someone up and coming. Someone like John Watts, for example. He made the Spider-Man Far From Home, Homecoming, the whole trilogy there, right?
Yeah.
He made a movie called Clown. You ever see that?
Yeah. I love that one.
Great movie. Something like that, reverse it. Have somebody that makes like a small-time independent film for their college project about emotional concurrence, or that's not even a word. Emotional understanding, something in the vein of what Kevin Smith would do in his early career, something like Chasing Amy, but like on a college level aspect. Who, when given a budget, could make something great, especially if they have a background understanding in horror films and films, etc. That'd be great. Something different. We need to bring actual art back to the industry and not just rely on CGI all the time.
That's what I'm worried about with Radio Silence, like what they do next after Scream. Because like look at John Watts, like you were just saying, he makes Clown, which is awesome, and I think the Spider-Man movies they're good. You know, they're
The
not
third
bad.
one was the best one.
The third one was the
second
best one.
was
Yeah,
the most disappointing one for me. I really did not like some of the line work that
it's
Jake Gyllenhaal had in that movie.
but
It
like
was
at the end of
really
the day, they're MCU movies. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
they are.
And to a point, they're a bit
He has no
cookie
creative
cutter. You
control.
know, like
Yeah.
they're not bad. They're fun.
No.
I love them. I'll still
Yeah.
watch them. But I hate that there's a lot of horror directors that are becoming superhero directors, which it just takes, to me, it sucks the creativity out of them sometimes. Like case by case, it's case by case. That's not fair to say about every superhero movie, but there's some of them where it's like they have to, like when you're directing a superhero movie under a gigantic studio like Marvel or DC, you have to follow certain guidelines and do things a certain way. You can't just randomly make it a horror movie like Sam Raimi, because these people aren't Sam Raimi. So
Sam Raimi did it right. And then
Sam
they
Raimi
all
did it
just
right with
started
Doctor Strange, I
Yeah,
think.
they did. You're right. I never pieced that together. They took all these horror directors like James Wan, who made Saw, and
Yeah, and
Insidious,
James Wan is
Conjuring,
making
now he's
Aquaman and all that now. You have John Watts doing Spider Man. You have fucking.
I hope they fired that disgusting screaming piece of crap pillow shitter.
Oh yeah. Well, that's a whole nother situation. But then the guy who did like the Annabelle. What's up? What's up? You have the guy that did Lights Out and Annabelle Creation, whose name is slipping my mind right now. He's doing the Shazam movies now, and it's like those are good. I like them, but it's like I wish he was still doing the low budget horror movies. Like, and I get they want to do bigger projects, but it's just, it worries me that they're going to do this and then they're just going to keep doing those big superhero movies for the rest of their career.
And I get why you're scared for Radio Silence, because they are very creative people, but remember, when the money comes knocking, what are they going to do?
Exactly, and that's what I'm worried about. Like, I would love to see these people become like someone like Jordan Peele right now, who's just fucking horror movie after horror movie and killing it at the box office every single time. I mean, Nope
or
is.
you could just end up like Green Day, where you start off punk and now you're just pop.
I don't even want to listen to their their latest album. Not new, but I heard one song and I was like, okay, I don't know, man. I wasn't impressed.
Okay, you got to be like really stoned and you got to expect something different, but it's still not. It grows on you. Like, Junkies on a High is the best song on that album. But other than that, that thing is just. Can I tell you what happened? Can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
A lot of people don't. It's like I haven't shared this because a lot of people might not believe this. Is what I'm trying to say. But when they were making that album, their engineer Chris Dugan, who also engineered American Idiot, wished me luck at school, because I had been sending him my music for about 7 years, via Facebook, like here and there. Maybe 7's an exaggeration, but for a while. And he responded to me because he was responding to some of my like Facebook posts, like his comments on his page. And he said, "Thanks, Joe. Good luck in school, and always make sure you're having fun." And this is when we put out a trilogy, 2020. Rock and Shock, Wake and Bake, and Opposite Land. And it was like, it started with some joke songs, with Rock and Shock came out on April 1st. Wake and Bake came out on 4/20. Opposite Land was May 25th. So it was like really perfect, like, 3 different layers, right? But they were making Father of All. Sorry, no. I'm getting ahead of myself, because when they were making Father of All was 2019. So when I was making the first tracks for Rock and Shock, which was the first part, it became a trilogy. It wasn't even planned. So it was going to be one album, but I gave myself about 8 months to release it. So it came out on April 1st, but summer 2019 is when I was recording it. And that's when they were recording Father of All. And I think a lot of what I do with my music, where it starts off like really negative and it like goes to a positive place by the end of it. And sometimes it doesn't. It like leaves you with some questions, and it's a little different. It's a little off sounding in some parts, like kind of indie. They took inspiration from my music, listened to it, and tried to do it, but because they were trying to do something that's not them, it didn't really translate well. And they didn't really give me credit either, so I kind of stopped listening to them after that. Because, they almost called me up on stage and didn't. Trey Cool threw a drumstick to the person right next to me. I spent about hundreds and thousands of dollars over about 15 years on that band. Think about it like this: Jamie Kennedy, I've given a small fraction of money to. He's been consistently my friend for over a year. So fuck that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Green Day, I'm all set with. I like their music, but I'm not gonna go out of my way to see them again. I've seen them 5 times. All right, so let's do the speed round, because I know we're a little over. I'm sorry, Jake.
No, you're
All
good.
right. Food or water?
I'm gonna say water.
All right. It's a good choice. I like water too. North or south?
North.
There you go. There you go. Being from the north. There you go. Pork or beef?
Probably beef.
Music or movies?
Movies.
Do it.
Yeah.
And then last but not least, final question. Where do we find you?
Well, check me out on YouTube, man. Killjoy Jake. I do horror movie updates and all that. And come on over, check it out. It's pretty sick. Get the channel to 12K. There you go.
Yes. Let's get you to 20K. Let's get you to 20K. That's the goal, right? And then
Yes.
from there on out. And go follow him on Instagram too. Jake, thank you for coming on again. I really do love having you, man. And we got to do this again soon. Hopefully less than a year, but I know you've been busy with the movie. Congrats on wrapping, by the way.
Thank you.
Proud
Thank
of
you
you,
so
bro.
much, man.
Yeah. No, I'll shoot you a message after. And it's been a good time. I'm happy you came.
Hell yeah, dude.
All right. This has been the Dreaming Insomniacs Season 3, Episode 7 of the podcast. And once again, Killjoy Jake is my wonderful guest. Love having you, dude. And have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
Peace out. Man, I didn't do it right.